Hello everybody, it's wee Paddy from across the shuck and a very good welcome to you on this lovely Sunday morning. Well, it's Sunday afternoon, sorry. I hope your day's been good so far. I am now just getting my voice back from yesterday when Ireland, I'll have to say it again, won the Six Nations and the Triple Crown, which is just amazing. It was just a wonderful day, but I shouted far too much and my poor dog was petrified and wouldn't come near me for the rest of the day. So she's just starting to come round to me now again. So there we go. Now, what I've got for you this morning. First of all, the name down there is a new channel. This boy's been about a few weeks now. I found him and he was sitting with 3 subscribers. He's had a wee shout out there and then, and he's up to 7 now. But he's a lovely man and a really nice channel. Nice knives on it too. And he's a really nice way of describing them. Lovely. So could I ask my subscribers, look, if you've got time, pop over to his channel. If you like what you see, that's what I always say, if you like what you see, but I really do recommend this man. Very, very down to earth. Just down to earth and seems to really enjoy his knives. And that gets me. When I can hear that in somebody's voice, it gets me, as you know. So pop over his channel if you can. Blade Banter, it's called. It's a nice name for, and he's really dying to get in. He's really dying for people to talk about knives with him. And again, when somebody wants that, let's fulfill it. You know, it's hard enough to get on this YouTube now and get a channel going the way YouTube are treating the new people around. So I think it's it nearly is like a duty. We should go and help them. And you know, you only help people you like. I mean, we don't all like the same things, and I don't expect all my subscribers to like him, but I would love as many as possible to go over and see his channel, have a look. He's got a few videos up. It's not just that he's got one video. You don't have to judge his channel on the one video, but he's got a few and all very well done, and he's eager and keen to get into the community. So I'll leave that there at the front, but I'll also put the name in the description. You know, I can't do the old fidgety things where you put them numbers and you just go straight to it. But, so there we go. Right, the title of this is My Knife Collection. I've never done a full knife collection. Basically because up until maybe 6 months ago, I didn't have a big enough collection to do a knife collection. But I have now, do you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I'm starting to thin it out and give knives away now. So I want to sort of document what I've got now before it goes much further, because I've given ones away, as you'll probably see from my Ganzo here, that I wish I had taken a better picture of them all together before I started, but that doesn't matter. I've got plenty of knives. I've been blessed with so many gifts of knives this year, so many donations of knives to the channel that I could pass on to other people, which is just great, absolutely great. So I thought I'd start with my Ganzos, because that's where I sort of started when I came into the knife community, was with my Ganzos. And, you know, I've kept up to date with Ganzos and I've let a lot go. I've given a few out, the ones that I've had, and it's not that I unloved them. It was time to move on and go to the next one. There's some I've kept right from the beginning, which is my favourite up here, as you know. Well, you'll see it when, if you don't know, I'll explain why. So this is it. I've got 9 in front of you here that I've got left in my Ganzo selection. I did have much more. Sad that I am. I did have much more, but it's down to about 9 now, and I'm probably going to start giving a couple of these away now as I get more knives in. But let's go. Let's go through them, no order. This is the Ganzo. I should know all these names off the top of my head, but I never can remember numbers. F759M. It's the little Ganzo Spyderco Delicate copy. Anybody that's been on my channel knows I battered the living daylights out of this last year. I abused it beyond anything a knife should go through, and that'll not leave my collection, because it came through it with just shining colours. I have a lovely edge on her now, which I done with my cheap sharpening system that I bought. It's a copy of the Lansky, so I'll be doing a review of that soon too. This is just a great wee knife, an absolutely great wee knife, and Gearbest ran out of them. That's where I sort of get mine from, because it's been the cheapest. I see they've now got some more back in. They haven't got all the colours, but they're still only about $10 a knife. So again, you can't beat $10 a knife. It's not gonna break the bank. And these are good. They last. Anybody I know that has bought on my recommendation has come back and said, I've liked it. So that's lovely. And that's what I like about our wee team here. I call it our wee team. I mean, everybody's subscribed to everybody else, but people get back and tell me if they like them or don't like them. And I've had a few don't likes, don't get me wrong. I mean, budget knives, when you're buying budget knives, you will get a dummy every now and then. But that's the joy of it being a budget knife, that you don't get hammered. Even if you're on a budget, you can always get one dummy here and then. And, another thing it's taught me is how to try and fix dummies when you get them. And I've done it. Here's one knife. Where's it? Oh, here it is. This is the Spyderco Stretch copy. This came with the most awful blade grind on it. It was terrible. I think in the video I called it my first Ganzo lemon. And I spent hours reprofiling this. I'd never done it before. I'd never really sharpened knives before. And I spent hours on this. And now it's one of my favourite. You can see how much I've had to go up the grind here. There used to be a choil there. But I mean, a sharpener's choil, but I had to go so far up. It was such a bad grind. But now, and it's like a razor blade. It just is a lovely knife. And again, that'll be one of my favourite knives here, because I done something to it. And that makes a knife yours. When you do something, much like, I suppose it's a simple form of modding a knife. Do you know what I mean? When you do something to it, it actually means something to you. So I've got that, and here's another wee knife. Here, this is just an absolute dream of a knife. That one was the F733. That's the Ganzo. It's the Spyderco Stretch copy. And a lot of Ganzos in the beginning were copies, so there's no point me trying to not say it, because they were. But that's what I could afford, so there we go. Now I buy them because not only are they good knives, but they're coming out with their own designs now, which is marvellous. But this is the F753M. Lovely little knife. I think it's a vague copy of a Protec of some sort. I don't know. I've never seen one that looks like it, but this is a smashing little knife. It's nearly like a gentleman's carry. I had it in carbon fibre. I gave that one away, but I kept this one to go with my... it's very similar size to the Rat 2. And it's a sort of a cheaper version of the Rat 2. Do you know what I mean? And the Rat 2 is only $30-something, and this is $20, so, or thereabouts. So it's nearly half the price of a Rat 2. But it's just, if you're just starting, that half is a big deal, and it's a great wee working knife with 440 steel, as all Ganzos are. Their heat treat is good enough. Pete, I'm going by Pete's tests. You get about 77 cuts of his rope. For a $20 and under knife, that is not bad at all. I think it was 77 cuts on a sisal rope, and that's not bad. So what else did I get? This is another one of my little favourites here. This was the copy of the Rat 1. Now, I have the Rat 1 now. I didn't have then. I got this for well under $20. I didn't have the Rat 1. Now I've got it. The Rat 1's huge compared to this. It just absolutely seems huge. But this is the most ergonomic handle. And I can see now that it feels the same as the Rat 1, only a wee bit smaller. And to me, that wee bit smaller makes a difference. I love the Rat 1 now that I've got it. And it's an Oz 8, which is a steel that I didn't have. And that's the other thing I try to do is when you see, this is all Ganzos that are 440, well, one exception. I've always tried since I started is to change the different steels and get to know what the different steels can do and can't do. Again, these are all axis locks that are most of these are all on, one phosphor bronze and one plastic washer. But after years of use, or after not years, you don't need to take years, but after use of a month or two, they just are as free as you like and easy to use. This was the other one, and this is one you don't see much of. It's a wee aluminium one, and it's an aluminium handle with it's this sort of rubber texture we get in the blur. That's exactly that wee insert there is, and on the other side, which makes it a really good grip. Lovely little handle and blade. Really lovely hollow grind in this, whereas most Ganzos are flat. This is a hollow grind, and this is made with this is the F6802, and this is the BRD 4116, which seems to be coming in a few other knives now. But this, it's not the best action on it, right? It's a liner lock. It's not the best. You can't really flick it out. It's too stiff, but you can do it with two hands, you know, two fingers, all right. But it's a great wee work knife. You see to throw on a truck, or like all Ganzo knives, throw on a truck. I threw this into the kitchen because I didn't like it. And it ended up after 6 months in the kitchen being an absolutely cracking little kitchen knife. You know, a potato peeler knife. It's a joy. And with that grip, it doesn't matter when it got wet. And I didn't take care of it whatsoever. It got thrown into the washing up. And you know, there's not a bit of rust inside it or outside it. I've taken it away. Again, it's much like this one. Once a knife proves to me that it's worth its weight, I'll then look after it. Quite strange, isn't it? So I'll not get rid of this one either. This is a wee... But these cost $10. $10 for a little knife with a deep carry pocket clip on it. That's from Ganzo. So you just can't beat that. You know, you can't beat that as a wee work knife. And that one there, did I tell you that? The wooden one is the G727M. And that's the copy of the big rat one. Now that's the end. Oh no, sorry. Yes, I've got it. That's the end. I'm hardly halfway through. This is the copy. This is one of my first Ganzos, and this is the copy of the Paramilitary 2. And let me tell you, you see for shape, and now it didn't. The Paramilitary doesn't have a G lock. It doesn't. If you put the two of them together, they don't particularly conform to each other, but they do look similar, and that's what they were going for. I truly believe at the time. Again, what's the point of lying? That's what it looks like. Lovely forward choil on this one. This is a worker. The one thing I would say about this is compared to, oh, let me see what I'm going to, compared to the, what do you call it, Spyderco one, this nib of this knife, the end of the knife, the point, I couldn't get the word out. The point of the knife is much more sturdy than what the genuine model is. Oh, I've just knocked this down there. When I giggle, I'm at that age now. When I giggle, my whole body moves. It's not just it's an unforced error. Now, blade banter, by the way. This is a cracking knife. This is a great work knife. Everything that I hear people talking about the Spyderco, I've been able to do with this with aplomb. You know, the blade steel is going to be better because it's S30V, I think, on and a whole lot of different other better blade steels. But this is a lovely replacement. I can't afford that one, so this one will do me. This one will do me until maybe one day I'll get one. And that's been the joy of this, my journey, is that I bought ones in the hope that I was going to get ones. I bought this one. This was one of the first I bought. Now, the first one I bought didn't have these scales, but this was a copy, what everybody said, was a copy of the 940. And yes, it is the same blade shape. It's got an axis lock. It does look like the 940 on steroids. It's huge compared, because I have now got the real 940, which is gifted me by GSGL. I mean, just, the 940 was my dream knife and had been for a couple of years. And then when I got it, I was so happy. I wasn't disappointed. And when I hold this in my hand and then hold the 940, it's like, the 940 is like taking your child for a walk. And this is like taking your adult child for a walk, because it's such a difference that's markedly, as soon as you move from one handle to the other, it's just such a huge difference. This is a great worker. This has been used, abused. It's taken, I mean, 440 takes a great edge on it. It really does, with not too much bother. And again, I suppose that's my harping on. Go and learn how to do it. So that was my favourite, and that is so sentimental. I don't think I could get rid of that, because that still reminds me of I wanted that 940. That was my dream knife, and I've got it now. So, to the modern Ganzos. Now, I know there's other modern Ganzos. I need to start getting more of the other ones and then maybe passing these on. These next two are just outstanding as knives. Never mind Ganzo knives in 440 steel. This is on bearings. On bearings, right? The first proper, and it just drops shut. Look at that. I mean, that is just drop shot. And this for a $20 knife. I mean, that is just beautiful. The fit and finish, deep carry pocket clip. An absolute joy. It really is. It's got the fidget factor because it's on bearings. It just flicks back and forward as free as a Benchmade. And I've got a Benchmade now to prove it. You know, that one there is as free as a Benchmade. Beautiful, beautiful knife. And when they brought that out, I thought they would stick with the bearings, but they didn't. Typical Ganzo, you can't think for them. The next one they brought out was this one, and this one has the most lovely G10 I have seen on any knife. It is stunning. It's nearly checkered, and then these lovely swedges they put in it. And this has gone back to the old one brass, one plastic washer, but it is incredibly free. It's like, and it took about a day to get this. The older Ganzos used to take you a week, 2 weeks of flicking to get them to be drop shot. This is not drop shot, but it's close. Do you know what I mean? This is just a beautiful knife. The shape of this knife turns me on. It just, as a Ganzo, I mean, the shape of it just turns me on. I think it is the most brilliant work knife you'll ever get. You see, for cutting cardboard, cutting up just anything at all. It's 440. It'll cut anything. But this one does it. The handle is so comfortable. It's scary how comfortable they can make a handle that size. The blade is absolutely beautiful. Huge flat ground blade. Huge. Absolutely. The swedge, it only goes across the top there. And a lovely, lovely shape. So, that's my Ganzos. That's them all covered. I think I've done every single one, haven't I? I have indeed. Now, sorry, I didn't give you the name. The one on bearings is an FB760. And the other one is the F761. Absolutely love every one of them for different reasons and for different times that I got them. And they give me an idea of what it's like. They did give me an idea of what it's like to get the better end knives. And is it worth waiting to get the better end knives? Oh, gosh, yes. They're better, do you know what I mean? They are better, but they're not as far away from you as you think. I know these are all $20 and under, but these other knives that I have now got, you know, I've got a good Benchmade, I've got Kaisers, haven't got a whole lot of top end, but the ones that I've got, they're not that far away from you. You know, 440 steel. Don't fall into the trap. This is great steel. This will cut anything, and it's easy to sharpen if you learn how to sharpen. It's easy to put an edge on 440 steel. It's not so much on the other ones, but because I sharpen, I'm not frightened of them anymore. But as knives and as construction and as fit and finish goes, you will be very surprised when you move up from Ganzo to the next level that Ganzo are not a million miles away. You can pay for a knife twice as good as Ganzo, and you maybe not get the same fit and finish as Ganzo will give you. You might get a better blade, but you're not going to get a fit and finish that's, to me, has been consistent. I know some people have had bad times with them, and like I said, you know, a cheaper knife, you're always going to have bad times. But that's not all, folks. I'm going to remove this now. My number one Ganzo, I'm going to set that there, is this Ganzo here. And I don't even think I can remember the number. How bad is that? I can't remember what number it was. This knife was modded for me by JT Knives. He modded this and he put Paddy's potato peelers on it for me on the blade with raindrops on both sides. He anodized all the screws, not brass, and look at that, or copper, whichever, gold, copper. Um, I absolutely love it to death. And you'll see this in front of my, a couple of times I forgot, but you'll always see this in the front of my thing, because to get somebody to make you something, I have another one, but it's not a Ganzo, done by Stasa for me, and it'll sit with it at the front. But for somebody to do that and to give you a knife that they have modded, you know, whether the knife started out for me or not doesn't really matter, but somebody has given me something that they have put it themselves. You just can't. It has to be your favourite of that brand. Has to be. Because it just means so much that that was done. So that is my number one Ganzo, which makes a total of 9. And yes, I'm going to get more. But hopefully, as I get more, I'll maybe give more away. I have a few giveaways coming up, which I'm looking forward to. But, you know, I'd rather just give these away to people, the new channels, the likes of Blade Banter. If he maybe hasn't tried a Ganzo, I can send him one. But we've got to get him a few subs and keep him interested so that he stays within, especially budget people. There's enough people out there who have got very expensive knives, but there's not enough of us who just have budget blades. And I hear myself saying that now, and a lot of my knives are not budget anymore, but I'm still a budget channel. That's what I get to review because I like reviewing them, not because it's all I can afford, which it is. But even if I had the money, I would still get the budget knives. I have lovely knives now from especially in the mid-range, that are just lovely and good blade steels. You know, the D2. I have a stack of wee knives there, not a stack, but I have a few knives there in D2. Well, you're going to see over the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to do these one every day, but it'll be done over a couple of weeks. This will be part 1 of 4. The next one will be my other budget blades. Then I'll do all my small blades. And then last of all, I'll do knives that will never leave the channel. Knives that will be the last one. So that's about it. So I'll do it over 4, probably do it over a month, you know, maybe 1 a week, if that's okay with you. If it's not something you want to see, please let me know. I can always stop doing it. But I think I've gone on long enough now. 22 blooming minutes. How do I talk so much? Why do you listen so much? That's a sad bit. Look, take care, everybody. Thanks very much for listening to me. Thanks very much for listening to me going on about Ganzo. I know there's a lot of you don't like Ganzo for what they stood for, but I do. They got me into this hobby. They have fed me with knowledge and information and a desire to move on up through. And I have that in my personal ones, but my budgets are just, that's me. The other ones are just complete bonuses from meeting the most generous people around this whole world, not just in Ireland, around this whole world. And, you know, people that I don't mention their names so much anymore, and I really should start doing it, like Tony Meador, like Love Them Knives, Stasa, JT. There's a whole stack of people. Common Man, I've forgotten his blooming name. Look, there's a whole stack. I forget all their names. I can never get them all out. Common Man Conservation. The people that have sent me, Blue Collar Survival sent me something. People that have sent me something, just Jim at Nice's Knives. They have kept my channel going by giving me knives, and a lot of them are knives that I would never have been able to afford if it hadn't been for them. So I do. Before I go, so I don't have to do this every time. This is for now. Thank you to everybody. If I've missed your name, I really do apologise, but I am a Paddy. I can't retain thoughts. So take care, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm away. Have a wonderful day. I have a wee bag there. I'm going to have a cup of tea, and I'll see you later. Bye.